Now in the week we obviously found out the news that WWE have released another load of talent for some unknown reason, and there was some real surprises in there. Samoa Joe, the Iconics especially, and I thought today we'd look at all of the releases and see what they could do next, and I'm excited to see what they all do, to be honest. Starting off with Lars Sullivan, who wasn't released in this big thing. But yeah, still Lars Sullivan. It's such a shame what happened to Lars Sullivan. Obviously, we don't condone some of what he said and stuff like that, but it did look like he has such great potential. But yeah, I just don't think his mental state was right, and it was probably best for all parties to go. And as Reddy's kind of moving away from wrestling into more physical sports, so I'd be interested to see what he did there. But anyway, next up, Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler. To be honest, I'm just going to start off by saying how unbelievable it is that they were the ones that released, and bloody Jackson Riker is to the company. Baffling, but anyway, yeah, kind of interested to see what they do. To be honest, I can't see any major promotion signing them, at least not for now. But that means I do think they will have a great run on some of the indie scenes. And to be honest, once the pandemic ends finally, they could be the best place to be. And then starting off with another huge name, Andrade, and I'm going to include Selena Vega like this, because obviously they were released at about the same time and they were such a great pairing together. I can just see them continuing together, and personally I think they will go to AEW. I think AEW even know how stacked they are, they know how big a star these could do, and Selena Vega on her own can make a massive difference to the women's roster, so I definitely think both of those will end up in AEW, and that would be a great get. Next up, Mickie James. Now, Mickie James is a hard one to call. I was shocked to see her go. I thought at least she would have been used in the backstage role, doing something or whatever. But yeah, I definitely think she'll be snapped up, not just for her brilliant ability in the ring, but for her ability backstage and everything like that, and all of her experience. And I think it would be good for someone like Impact to get a big name like Mickie James. So I can see Impact snapping her up, and she could also be of use to AEW, and that's something that I kind of focused on in this video with the working relationship, and that comes into effect with Chelsea Green. Now I was quite surprised in a way to see Chelsea Green on the list, because there were rumours a few months ago saying that Vince McMahon thought really highly of Chelsea Green, but obviously unfortunately her injuries have set her back massively, and so that's really not great for her. But anyway, I think she will kind of join two different women's divisions at once, AEW and Impact, as we see those titles get ever closer, and I'd really like to see that. Next up is Tucker. Now, obviously, WWE have just treated Tucker like absolute shit, really, for however long, ever since they broke up Heavy Machinery, and Tucker hasn't been afraid to say so on social media. I feel really sorry for him, actually. But I think he will get snapped up by one of the bigger promotions. I don't think AEW, Impact or anyone like that will maybe go straight in for him. I can see him joining kind of maybe slightly down from that, Ring of Honor, and being a real main guy in there. Next up is Calypso. Now I know Calypso obviously did get some heat from people on the internet wrestling community, and I would kind of say unfairly, he's a really, really great wrestler, and I personally don't think he'll sign for any of the major American promotions. I can see him going back to Mexico and becoming a really high star in Lucha Libre or something like that, back in his native Mexico, and that's probably what's best for him in my opinion. And next up is, without doubt, the biggest name to be released so far this year, Samoa Joe. I mean, the guy literally wore a friggin' poncho for you at WrestleMania, and then you release him less than a week later. Yeah, crazy company, and even more crazy for letting Samoa Joe go. Let's face it, he's going to be snapped up by their biggest rivals, Samoa Joe, and yeah, I hope he becomes a main event player because he freaking deserves it. Next up is Bo Dallas. Now, to be honest, I was stunned to read Bo Dallas was still in the company. I just presumed he'd been released last year in the massive cuts, because we haven't seen him since then, and it's probably best for him to just go. And I've read recently that he's got some other projects going on outside the ring, and he's still only 30, so I think he will tour the indies for now, and then maybe once he's more ready, he'll do some bigger companies, because he does the ability. And then moving on to the Iconics, and the Iconics, I was just stunned to see them let go, especially Billie Kay. What she was doing at WrestleMania was so great, but one thing it does do is it allows them to reunite, and that's a massive positive. I love the two of them together, so that's huge for me, and I think they will do it a bit like Chelsea Green. I can see them doing it in AEW and Impact both at the same time. So yeah, I just can't wait to see them getting back together on the tour, hopefully. And finally is Mojo Rawley. Now, to be honest, I'm kind of surprised to see Mojo get released. Obviously, he hasn't been on TV much recently, but he was just such a huge name at last year's WrestleMania. I mean, he was the one who brought Gronk to Mania, and we just haven't seen him recently, ever since it kind of looked like he's getting his push. He's another one who I can't really be signed by AEW or Impact straight away. I can see him going to a company maybe like Ring of Honor for a year or two, and maybe working his way back up to one of the major companies. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below, and follow me on Twitter, link in the description below, for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel on the screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.